Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to install the EVE Online client in Ubuntu 12.10. Now, before we continue, I'm going to assume that your system is up to date, and I'm also going to assume that your video card drivers are installed. I'm not going to cover video card driver installation, as it's guaranteed your video card is different to mine. So once you've done that, we can continue. Now, when I say continue, the next thing we're going to have to download, and I recommend you doing this before anything else, is you're going to have to download the actual EVE offline installer. So I'll add this link into the video description. So this will allow you to download the client and then install it once you've downloaded it. So go ahead and download these three files. This is a pretty big download, and when I downloaded these at the end of July, it totals about 5.8 gigs. So yeah, once you've downloaded them, you'll be able to continue. Okay, so you've now downloaded the offline EVE installer. Now the next step is to go ahead and install PlayOnLinux itself. So that can be done one of two ways. I'm going to show you how to do it via the command line. The other option is for you to go into the Software Center and do a search and download it from there. I like using the command line. It allows me to see what the computer is actually doing. So I'll add these commands into the video description. The first one is sudo apt-get install PlayOnLinux. So I've already installed this. It's just telling me that I've got a few packages that I can get rid of. So I can do that at any time I want. So that will install PlayOnLinux. So once it's installed, you can go to applications and games, and there it is, PlayOnLinux. Just a side note that once it's installed, this is not the latest version of PlayOnLinux. So how I've overcome that in the past is I've actually gone to the downloads page on the PlayOnLinux site and downloaded the specific deb file that I need, which is right there. You can go ahead and add a repository if you want, depending on your version, but I find this is just as simple. This is pretty simple. So just click on that link, go ahead and save the file. See, I've already got it, so I don't need to save that. Okay, so once you've done that, we can then go and do sudo. Well, first we'll make sure we're in the working directory, and there it is, PlayOnLinux. So we'll do a sudo dp-i, and it'll go ahead and install that. It's just going to overwrite what I've already done. So that's the latest version of PlayOnLinux installed. Now, once you've installed this and you go to run it, it will come up, a little pop-up box will come up and say that you're missing a package called curl. Well, that's relatively easy to fix. Go back to a command prompt. Again, I will add these these commands into the video description. We're going to do a sudo apt-get install curl, just like that. Again, it's telling me I've got redundant packages, and I've already got it installed. So that's done. That should allow you to then start PlayOnLinux, and I've already started it here. So there it is. Now, whether or not your files for the EVE offline installer have downloaded, we can now go ahead and actually download and install EVE. Sorry, not download and install, but actually install. Okay, so you've downloaded the EVE offline installer, you've installed PlayOnLinux, you've updated PlayOnLinux, and you've installed the curl packages. Now all that's left is to actually install EVE itself. So that can be done by clicking the install button here and clicking the games. As you can see, there are a lot of applications you can install with PlayOnLinux, but we're not interested in anything else. We're only interested in EVE at the moment. So we can scroll down and find EVE in this list, extensive list, lots and lots of games, but we're only interested in EVE. So here we go. Eve is written and done by CCP. Two issues. One, the end user license agreement can take a long time on first run, and the captain's quarters feature does not work, which is no real loss to me. I don't use it. I like Hangar View. So there we go. Just a couple of known bugs, but wouldn't really call them bugs. Um, so once you found it, just go ahead and click on install. You're going to have to reference to where you save the offline installer files. So here it is, ready to go. Welcome to PlayOnLinux, blah blah blah. We're going to install Eve, so click next to begin. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've already installed this. So I'm just going to erase everything and start again. So it's going to download and install a couple of packages while it does this before it even gets to installing Eve. So just let it go through. Don't click anything until you get to the actual Eve Online installer. You will get another couple of questions. One, I believe, is in regards to your video RAM. So just go ahead and select the video RAM that's in your system. Another thing is that according to this, you're going to need at least 23 gigabytes free on your hard drive. So before you begin, make sure you've got the required space. Yes, Eve is a relatively large game. So and recommend using offline installer, which is what we're doing. So click next to begin. We're going to use a setup file on my computer. Okay, so it's asked me to browse to the installer file location. Mine's actually on a mounted NTFS drive, excuse me. So that's the one we want. So we're going to go open. So yeah, please select the setup file to run. So we're going to run that. We're going to click next. I don't know why it comes up with this, but next. Okay, so we're ready to install Eve itself. So as it said previously, do not change anything from default, leave everything as is. So go ahead and click next. You either agree or you can't install, so we agree. So yep, leave default location. It needs 18 gig, so make sure you've got at least 18 gig free, and install. So there it'll go and extract all the files, all those two bigger files that you downloaded. It'll extract them into the directory you've just specified. I'll be back once it's all finished. Alright, we're almost there. Oh, and it failed. That's alright. Let's hit finish and see what happens. Oh, it's downloading something else. Oh, look, it's downloading an launcher update. So it's not completely dead yet, and I don't believe it's failed. So I'll be back once this is finished downloading. Okay, I think we're almost finished, and we are almost there. Depending on the installer that you downloaded, you may have to download an update. When I did this before, I had to download a 700 meg update, so obviously they've released a new patch. I have a feeling that I might do it again, so it might be beneficial for you to just download the newer installer. So it's still going. Might have a few more things to do yet. Again, just let it do what it needs to. Okay, so we're on the home stretch now. Do you want to create a symbolic link for Eve? Why not? and again it's going to tell us about the known issues. So next, an error occurred. I'm not going to bother, but you can if you want. So there you have it. That's basically EVE Online installed. Now, I'm sorry, I had a mental blank there. You can just go ahead and double click the EVE Online link here on your desktop. You don't necessarily need this open anymore, so you can go ahead and close that. So there you have it. This is the new EVE Online launcher. It should go ahead and download a patch. Yep, there it is. So I saw it do this before, and it was about 750 meg. So in the event of you having to wait, you know, depending on your internet connection, however long, who cares? There's going to be downtime pretty soon. So um, yeah, I'll actually come back once this is downloaded and installed, and I'll actually show you me in the EVE universe. So please just tell the download to hurry up, and we might be able to do this sooner. But anyway, I'll be back once this is completed. Okay, so I've updated the EVE client. It's would be assuming is running the latest build, and let me just enter. And there we have it, people. I'm running EVE Online. Yeah, so I hope this video in some way, shape, or form helps you, and I hope to see you out in the EVE universe. Thank you for watching.